Hey, how you doing? So this is my reading summary for the Old Testament. So the author is Moses. The genre is a religious text, also a parabola. Not a parabola. A parable, a prophecy, and an epistle. I think I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm probably not. So just disregard that. But okay. So the Old Testament begins with the story of creation. It begins with God, which is a spirit hovering over an empty water void. He created the world as we know it by just speaking into the darkness and saying, "Let there be light, let there be living creatures, let there be us." So he begins to create humankind. He created humankind. He created a man out of dust, and he created a woman out of the man's ribs. And they were both called Adam and Eve. One day God told them not to eat from this forbidden tree because he just didn't want to eat from there. And of course, them being young and curious, they disobeyed God and they end up being punished. So Eve punishment, well, both of their punishment was something that's unimaginable. Like, it was just a lot for both of those. So Eve punishment was painful childbirth, and also having to submit to her husband. And Adam's punishment was that he had to work to basically for the means of survival. So those were both of their punishment. The two were banished from banished, and it was God just said out to them and said that they need to just experience this thing we know it's life. So they end up having a family, having many children, but one of their children ended up killing his brother, which was his sibling, of course, and he was banished from Eden altogether. He was not allowed there. Like, that was his punishment that God had given out to him for being this disobedient. So of course, many generations had passed, has passed over the years, and mankind, as we know it, started to get evil, like became too much. So God knew like He had to do something. So basically, he found trust in this one human named Noah, and he instructed Noah to build this ark that him and his family can be on, including the animals and everything, because God was planning to have this massive flood to wipe out and destroy like the world as we know it. So he instructed for him to build an ark for his family, and of course Noah did that. And then once the flood came, of course Noah's family survived, and him and God came to agreement that like him or none of his people, they only followed by the rules. They can't outstep their boundaries. And then if they end up doing something that they're not supposed to do, God just basically said that they would be punished. The punishment would be death. So of course everybody ended up being in line. But of course there were always people who just couldn't get it right. But an interesting fact I found out about this, that the Old Testament actually 5 books instead of 1. So all of them just really talks about like how everything changes, like that you can. It's just talked about how everything changes. But what I did like is that God basically followed this thing called restorative justice, restorative punishment. Restorative justice, restorative punishment, same thing. He punished those who basically deserved it. So the evil got punished, and then the blessed got righteous. So I really like that because, like, that's just what it's supposed to be. Like, I agree to that. Like, you do wrong, you need to handle the consequences. And I didn't have any dislikes or doubts. And yeah, that is my summary on the Old Testament. And thank you again.